The gentlemen of the railway board were visiting the island of Sodo for a week to inspect how the Fat Controller's railway was run. Most of the engines knew that this was a very serious occasion indeed. Bertie the bus was often tasked with delivering the members to the stations along the line. One day, after delivering a group of these to the big station, he went to the sheds. "Hello, hello, hello. Who's this?" "Oh, hello, Thomas. What are you doing here?" "I'm taking some of those important visitors along the main line. They requested me especially." "Well, no wonder. I am the number one after all." "All right, Mr. Cocky Buffers. If we had another race, I'd bring you down to earth, no doubt." "Speaking of that, I wish we could have another race sometime." Thomas chuckled. "I'm busy this week, but if you wanted, you could always try racing Gordon. His express never stops." "Race Gordon?" Bertie considered this. "All right, you. We'd better be getting back to the bus station," his driver laughed. "Yes, Gordon wouldn't stand a chance against me," he thought to himself, but he didn't realise that Thomas was only teasing. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that Bertie only became more conceited from there on. Often, as he delivered passengers to the junction, he would see Gordon thundering by with the express. He tried to catch up with him, but his driver stopped him. "Don't you dare! What would your passengers say?" "They wouldn't like being bounced about, I know." That Friday morning, Gordon was standing at the platform with the morning express. The Fat Controller came to see him. "Gordon, my VIPs are on board this express, and they are expecting a good performance from you today. Do your best, that's all I can say. And if not, you will be banished to the back of the sheds for a month." "Really?" "I'm only teasing. But be on your best behaviour." And the Fat Controller boarded the first coach. It wasn't long before Gordon was out on the main line. He was determined to give the VIPs a good ride as any. Come on, he puffed to the coaches. We're coming along, they screeched as they rounded a bend. His speed began to increase as his driver opened the regulator further. That's more like it. Express coming through. Bertie had a long day driving from place to place. He was going to the garage in Barrow for a maintenance check. That's him! He's coming up now! I do wish I could show him a thing or two. Bertie! Please, driver! There's no passengers on board. Oh, all right then, but up to the next bus station. So Bertie began to slightly go faster. Gordon was surprised. If I'm going so slow that a vintage bus has overtaken me, that's really saying it. I heard that. Vintage? Said Bertie's driver. He was furious. We'll show that grumpy old engine just what we can do, Bertie. Bertie was excited. Now the fun really began. Bother! Passengers! Get in quickly, please, called the driver. We're racing the train. Oh, I love a race. Oh, yes, a race. I quite like that, yeah. And with that, they were off again. Bertie's passengers and his driver were enjoying themselves. The same couldn't be said for Gordon. I'll take him by surprise, you can bet on that. Careful, Gordon. Why? The VIPs are on a steam engine, not a flippin' theme park attraction. Oh, I've never been so insulted. Then Bertie ran into some trouble. Oh, what's that? Oh, your engine's starting to overheat. Darn it. They couldn't have stopped anywhere worse. Oh, no. They had stopped on a level crossing. "Oh, for goodness sakes, why here of all places? Why isn't anything working?" the driver complained, looking at Bertie's engine in rage. "This is a bad idea. Case in point." "Everyone get out of the bus," his driver cried. However, there appears to be something on the line. By Jove, must have had an accident or something.
Bertie, what in the name of Doncaster do you think you're playing at?
"Engine troubles, Gordon," said Bertie sadly. Bertie's passengers pushed Bertie to the side of the line to let Gordon through with his train.
"I do apologise, gentlemen,"
said the Fat Controller, trying to remain calm.
"Oh, don't you worry. We're quite used to it. Better chance of seeing Charlie Brown kicking a football than a train that isn't delayed in some form."
Bertie's passengers were allowed to travel on Gordon's train. Now Bertie had failed. He was relieved that the VIPs took lightly to the situation.
"Well, I say, little Bertie, you really thought you could go faster than a big express engine like me? Oh, I am flattered. But take my advice, stay off the rails in future."
"I gave it my all, though," Bertie said to himself. Bertie was taken to the garage by a lorry later on, and had a new engine fitted the next day. He was most careful as he made his way across the island, and his driver knew why. He met up with Thomas again at the junction the following week. "The Fat Controller says that the railway board says our railway is a great place to travel and serves the island very well. Though we did mention something about a bus on a level crossing. I might be able to explain that." And he told Thomas all about his race with Gordon. "Oh, Bertie, when I suggested racing Gordon, I never meant you should actually try it." "You didn't? Oh, silly me, silly me. That said, I suppose you enjoyed yourself while it lasted." "Oh, certainly. But you know, Thomas, I think it's best if I don't try anything like that again."
"No?"
"No, far too ambiguous for my liking. I think I'll stick to our little races in the future."
"Well, I'm glad you've learned something from it."
"Oh, certainly. I've also learned that I'll beat you to Farquhar."
"Oh, really? We'll see about that."
The train now standing at platform 1